So DC Comics' big summer event is coming because, you need at least about 10 to 12 events in a year. That's supposed to be something that nobody cares about. And of course, who's front and center of this event? Amanda Waller, because this woman is everywhere. I mean, literally everywhere. In like every DC comic book, Amanda Waller is there. When I did my 7 verses that really pissed me off, I had to talk about the Waller verse. And this is the reason why. Amanda Waller is in everything. She's in Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Green Arrow, Flash, Teen Titans, you name it, she's there. Oh God, I mean, Amanda Waller used to be interesting when she showed up once in a while. She was a bureaucrat who was a little conniving and stuff. Okay, no, now she's just so freaking annoying and she's coming for everything. So this summer, DC is going to be doing an event called Absolute Power. And of course, like I said, Amanda Waller is going to be there. Let's take a bit of a read through here of what the pop verse has to say in regards to this whole Absolute Power event and what it's actually going to be about. DC's Absolute Power approaches with Amanda Waller building her own super prison and recruiting Green Arrow. I'll get to the Green Arrow thing in a little while. The new storyline comes from world's finest team of Mark Waid and Dan Mora. Now, let me tell you about this with you. I have no interest in checking this out because I already know how it's going to turn out, and I don't really care. That's just the whole thing about it. I just really don't care no more when it comes to DC Comics. I used to be a big fan, now I'm just fed up. But Mark Waid is going to turn off a lot of people. Because like I've said before, Mark Waid is a joke. You understand? He's a massive joke. And his recent comments about how he would rather the industry burn down than work with anybody from the alt-left or whatever, or the alt-right or whatever, did not sit well with people at all. So yeah, he's pretty much screwed, but that's what's going on. So let's get into this. This summer, all of Amanda Waller's plans and schemes come to a head in a new DC comic book event that threatens everyone with superpowers in the DC universe and sees Waller make the ultimate power move. Literally, what happens when the Trinity of Evil takes on the big DC Trinity of Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman? Find out during his Summer of Absolute Power. Okay, so basically, Amanda Waller has formed her own Trinity of Evil. And she's going to go out there and do what she has to. So let's get into what Absolute Power actually is, what the story is going to be about. Well, it's simple. Amanda Waller, in her belief that superpower beings are inherently dangerous, has come up with a solution. She's going to take all their power away from them, whether they like it or not. And she's going to use the strategic know-how of fail-safe and the technology of the Brainiac Queen to do it. Yes, now we know what the Trinity of Evil is up to. So basically, the Trinity of Evil is Amanda Waller, fail-safe, and Brainiac Queen. Now, fail-safe is this robot that Batman built to be able to, basically it was a fail-safe. If the Justice League, I think, ever went bad, then he had this robot who knew how to take them out, and that was it. So it was a pretty interesting storyline, but I knew they were going to screw it up, which is why I don't pay any attention to DC Comics and their so-called big events anymore. It was interesting, but it didn't work out. Now, they've been pushing this whole thing with this Batman's alternate personality called Zur-En-Arrh and lives in his mind, and this is basically a Batman who's completely focused on what he wants to do and doesn't care for anything else. They tried to play it like, well, in the Gotham War event, this whole Zur-En-Arrh thing was influencing Batman, even though you never saw any of that. He was kind of talking to him in his mind and Batman was just ignoring him. That wasn't. Now, apparently, this Zur-En-Arrh personality is now inside fail-safe. So it's no longer just failed to be. Basically, Zur-En-Arrh has his own body now. And that's it. So we don't know how Amanda Waller convinced him to join her, but he did. And then there's the Brainiac Queen, because apparently Brainiac alone wasn't good enough. Decided to have Brainiac as some daughter or some damn thing called the Brainiac Queen, and she's in on it too as well, because for some reason they're doing all this nonsense, and that's what's going on. Now, absolute power will also signal the end of the 18-month-long Dawn of DC initiative. When they tried that whole Dawn of DC crap, it never worked. Nobody cared. Nobody was interested. It was an absolute waste. They tried to put it out there like, all the Justice League are gone. The Titans are going to be taken over. It was an absolute embarrassment, because the Titans, when they could have, the Titans should be able to step up as their own heroes. Yes, but they could still have the Titans and the Justice League. That was the whole thing about it. The Titans have always kind of been their own team separate from the Justice League. They would help out when needed. But rather than have them be their own team, we decided to just, temporarily get rid of the Justice League. Have it stated that, they're going to be disbanded, even though you pretty much told everybody that they're coming back. And this is what happened. So that's what's going to be absolute power is all about. Now, in order to set up absolute power, and as I mentioned before with Green Arrow, Amanda Waller is basically blackmailing Green Arrow into going and stealing something that she could use. And what are they going to do? They're literally bringing back one of the worst events in DC Comics history that pissed off so many people. But for some reason, they figure, well, you know what? Why don't we do it again? Sanctuary returns, people. DC's darkest crisis just became a devastating new weapon. The Justice League has earned tons of victories, but now their darkest failure is returning to haunt them as the secrets of Sanctuary are unearthed. Now, here's the thing about Sanctuary. Yeah? Basically, how they put it together was, it was this secret location that they had Kryptonian tech and Amazon tech and all kind of stuff. It was completely off the grid. And any hero could go there. And there were two robots who were basically modeled after Jonathan and Martha Kent to give them support and care and thing. And any hero could go there at any time. They would all wear these masks to conceal it, so nobody would know who was doing what. They would go there and they would spill all their problems in therapy and all this nonsense. Even that Batgirl showing off a bullet wound from where she got shot. You had Batman going there to cry and whine about how he's a tortured billionaire because of his parents. And everybody was showing up there all over. Then in this whole thing where people started to die in Sanctuary and it turned out to be Wally West who had killed them. They basically turned him into a freaking lunatic. You understand me? This was Tom King's idea. Turned him into like a serial killer, I guess you could call it. You understand me? And then after that happened, and a massive fan backlash because people liked Wally West, they didn't like you turning him into a killer. They tried to retcon it into to make it seem like Savitar had done something, but the damage was done. The damage of Sanctuary was done, and nobody was happy about it. Now, while the whole Wally West as a serial killer thing was terrible, understand, it was really, really terrible. My thing about it is that one of my biggest problems with Sanctuary was the fact that, they had all these heroes come in and try and sit down and talk like they were in therapy. Nobody wants to see their heroes in therapy. Nobody. You could talk to, if you're a superhero, you're clearly going to have problems, you understand, but you could talk to a friend or somebody, Superman would usually talk to his father or something. But to have them go there in therapy and sit down and talk about how, this is way on them and they feel so this and it's so hurt and it's so this and that. typical Tom King thing because he wants everybody in therapy along with him, apparently. That's what they're doing. I tell you, Dan Barbara Gordon showing off for bullet wounds. It was total nonsense. Total nonsense. But for some reason, they want to bring this crap back. Like anybody wants to remember Sanctuary. But no, this is what they're doing. The Justice League has been around for decades, and they have an absurd list of victories. Well, yeah, some of them under their belt, but they've had some pretty terrible failures too. While not often talked about anymore because people freaking hate it, one of the Justice League's darkest failures is returning to haunt them. The superhero therapy retreat known as Sanctuary. God, it was stupid from the beginning. In Amanda Waller's war against the Justice League, she's now hired Green Arrow to break into Sanctuary and retrieve tapes of the various heroes' therapy sessions. This means the Justice League's biggest failure is about to be used against them, as Waller clearly has plans for this record of the heroes' greatest secrets and most potent emotional vulnerability. So nobody thought with common sense to just erase all of this, destroy it, something, but no, some idiot that even. I mean, why would you even go there in the first place? But this is what they were doing. This is what they were doing. While Green Arrow doesn't want anyone to have access to his allies' secrets, the former leaguer is being blackmailed by Waller, who recently acquired unlimited political power through her new Bureau of Sovereignty. Waller is currently on a mission to kill off the Earth's heroes, seeing them as unpredictable and dangerous, and most of all as obstacles to her own budding regime. But they keep making Amanda Waller more important than she needs to be, and nobody cares. Is it here? Devil's bargain. This is supposed to be. The thing about it is that when Green Arrow, the comic book series, started off, this new one that they're doing here started off, people were like, hey, this is really interesting, it's really good, you should check it out. I was like, nope, I know where this is going. And then after like a couple issues, it fell off the flicking cliff. And now if you ask anybody, they're like, I don't know what the hell happened to this. Honestly, this is par for the course when it comes to DC. Anything that potentially starts off good goes right off the cliff not too long after that. Yep, they're going after this. Sanctuary was a haven created by the Justice League. It was staffed by two robots who were designed to mimic the warmth and love of Martha and Jonathan Kent. It was here that heroes could get therapy and talk about the struggles they had been going through. It was a great idea to provide a much-needed service to the heroes. No, it wasn't. But it ended up being a tragic failure. Of course it was. After witnessing the suffering of heroes, Wally West Flash was broken with the villain Savitar. Let's read this back. With the villain Savitar using the opportunity to manifest through a fault in the Speed Force and kill the other residents, something for which Wally was blamed until finding out the truth. Sadly, Sanctuary was quickly shut down soon after Flash's tragedy, and DC hasn't really mentioned it since Heroes in Crisis by Tom King and Clayman. That whole thing with Savitar was some kind of retcon that they tried for Sanctuary, but it did not work. You understand me? Because the story was that Wally West was the one who committed these murders. That's what they went with, and then when the backlash that they got, they tried to retcon it, but it didn't work. This whole superhero therapy thing was a terrible idea from the very beginning. Absolutely terrible. One of the big draws of Sanctuary was the fact it was entirely anonymous. Any hero could check in and check out when they wanted. They hid their identity by wearing golden masks, and Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman combined technology was used to keep all visitors top secret. Unfortunately, Wally West's trauma led him to recreate Sanctuary's deleted data using his powers, having come to believe no other heroes were actually being treated. Now it seems Waller has realized the huge advantage she can gain by claiming those recordings. from Guy Gardner's inferiority complex to divisions between the Bat family to Superman's identity crisis over his Clark Kent persona, the Sanctuary tapes are a guide to how to break DC's heroes. Look, the bottom line of it is this thing was never going to flicking work. And I'm telling you, if they had done another season of Young Justice, they were going to do this Sanctuary thing and turn Wally West into a serial killer. That's what they were going to do. So we're getting Sanctuary again, something nobody asked for, something nobody wants. Was a terrible story that kind of pretty much destroyed Wally West's character until this still pisses off fans. But they figured, hey, you know, why not? Let's do it and throw away anything that could remotely be considered actually good about any kind of event that we're going to do. Yeah, this one is pretty much in the crap already. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. If you have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it. If you like the video, hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell to be notified every time I put out a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.